If you are a parent thinking that traditional public school may not be the best fit for your child, what types of schools should you consider? You probably understand the way private schools work, but many of you may be wondering, how do they compare with charter schools? We will be discussing the differences in 4 different categories of evaluating which one is best for you at the end of this video. Before we jump into it, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed, and make sure to check out our other Tenney video here where we have an executive functioning discussion from one of our teachers, Mrs. Knowles. The first difference between private schools and charter schools is funding. Private schools do not receive public funding. While public schools are funded through tax dollars, private schools are primarily funded through tuition. In general, this is why tuition can be so high for private schools. One thing to keep in mind is that not all private schools charge the same tuition. Location, facility, extracurriculars, and student-teacher ratios are just a few factors which can lead to variance in tuition. It's always a good idea to shop around if you're considering a private school to see the correlation between tuition and program quality. It's also important to note that many private schools, like the Tenney School, offer scholarship programs for incoming families and students. Charter schools, on the other hand, are funded very differently from private schools. Charter schools are a form of public school funded from tax dollars. Since charter schools are public, funded by tax dollars, they are also free to students who attend. Charter schools may have some outside funding, though, through fundraisers, but it's most important to keep in mind that, like a standard public school, the majority of funding comes from the state. The next difference I want to discuss is the size of the classroom. Typical private school classrooms are much smaller than traditional public schools or charter schools. Private schools can be very selective in their student body, so in general, classes are smaller and more individualized. This type of education is the best a student can get, but once again, it comes with that catch of being very selective and costing money. If considering a private school for smaller class sizes, it may be a good idea to look for a one-on-one private school like ours, the Tenney School. This type of environment provides the most individualized education you can get for a student. When it comes to charter schools, they typically have a smaller class size when compared to traditional public school classrooms. The charter school classroom sizes will be larger than a typical private school classroom. It's still a great consideration if you're looking for a more personalized education when compared to more traditional models. Not all charter schools are the same, so it's important that you do some research on your own in your area to see how they stack up against private schools. The next category to discuss is academics. Starting with private schools, they are known for having more intense academic standards than both public and charter schools. While charter schools will generally be geared towards delivering content aligned with the state's standards, private schools have a wide variety of academic standards. Private schools designed to work with students with learning differences may have lower academic standards in some cases. Private schools considered college preparatory will have a more intense academic standard. Each private school is different, so it's important to do your research on the schools that you're considering to see if they meet your specific academic needs. Because charter schools follow state guidelines for their curriculum, a lot of the material is set in stone and is not able to fluctuate to match the needs of the students. While the academic experience is more personalized than a traditional public schools, it's not comparable to the personalization available in private schools. For some families, this may be what they're looking for, and once again, it comes down to preference and what you're looking for, with cost being one of the considerations. The final difference that we want to discuss today is teacher requirements. While teachers in public schools must have or be pursuing teacher certification, private schools have leeway to decide what qualifications they require for their teachers. While public schools must require certification in the state they reside, private schools can employ teachers certified in other states or countries, hire based off of university degrees, or even require teachers to have advanced degrees for some subjects. Regardless of what standards private schools require for teachers, these standards are ultimately approved by the official organization that accredits the private school. This flexibility in hiring, as well as the student selectivity available to private schools, means most of the teachers prefer working in a private school environment. So the staff is full of high quality and qualified teachers. A teacher looking to apply for a position in a charter school goes through the same process as a public school teacher. In Texas, the requirement for teachers is to have a bachelor's degree. They are not required to be state certified, though, to start working at a charter school. If you're wanting a small, personalized learning environment, a private school is going to be the best choice for you. If cost is a factor, and if you don't mind a little bit of a larger classroom setting, a charter school may be the right fit for you. I hope this has helped you in understanding the difference between your charter school and private school options in your area. I'd like to thank you for tuning into today's episode of Tenney Tube. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to give us a like, comment, and subscribe for more. Be sure to also hit that bell icon to be notified anytime we go live with a new video.